I want to show you this article and then a quick video by a pilot who can no longer fly because he ended up having heart problems or heart attack actually, and he's saying it was because of the mandated jabs that these airline companies have put on American pilots. So let me get into this and show you how they're continuing to put the American people in danger by these mandates or the prior mandates that they had on these pilots and other people throughout the country. Report: FAA quietly widened the EKG parameters for America's pilots. The Federal Aviation Administration in October of 2022 version of its guide for aviation medical examiners increased the EKG parameters required for pilots to be able to fly, because then they would have a shortage of pilots because of all the heart ailments pilots are coming up with. On October 24, the FAA quietly, without any announcement at all, widened the EKG requirements. Stephen Kirch, founder of the Vaccine Safety Research Foundation, noted in a January 17 Substack analysis of this whole situation. I'm going to put the Substack in the comments. Actually in the description part of this video, so you can check it out and read it for yourself. And they didn't widen the range by a little. They widened it by a lot, Kirsch notes. Kirsch said the PAA range, a measure of heart function for pilots, used to be in the range from 0.12 to 2. It's now 0.12 to 0.3 and potentially even higher. This is a wide range. It accommodates people who have cardiac injury. In other words, they found as they started to give EKGs to these pilots that they were all starting to have cardiac injuries. And it's insane because they're still denying there's any link to all this. It's really frustrating, and people have to start standing up to this stuff. The FAA's move amounts to what Kirsch said is a tacit admission from the US government that the COVID vaccine has damaged the hearts of our pilots. Not just a few pilots, a lot of pilots, and a lot of damage. The FAA was well aware, and it continued with the original EKG range. Too many pilots would have to be grounded, Kirsch noted. That would be extremely problematic. Commercial aviation in the US would be severely disrupted. So the damage to these pilots and their hearts is so bad that they widened the EKG so they could fly, because there were so many that was suffering heart damage that basically the whole flight industry would come to a halt. And they're going to sit here and lie to us in our face and tell us there's no connection to any of this. So all of a sudden, many pilots within the United States that fly could basically, under the old terms, not be able to fly anymore. So what they did is they've put us all in danger and now widen the parameters so they can fly. God help us all. One thing Hirsch notes is that the Epoch Times later in the week will publish a study that indicated heart damage to over 20% of pilots screened. So those are the ones that are screened. Cardiologist Thomas Levy said he was appalled by the FAA's change. In the United States, we are not allowed to do lab tests on people before and after the vaccine, Kirsch wrote. The reason for that is simple. It would make it crystal clear that the vaccines are unsafe. And everything they're doing is to protect these jabs. It's so blatantly obvious now. I don't know how many of you follow Dan Bongino or watch his videos, but he's actually has a video. I'm going to post it here. I'm going to put a little thing of what he talked about and how he's suddenly now having heart damage and how he regrets ever even taking the jab. And he only did it because his doctor told him to, and he really probably wouldn't have done it. And his doctor told him because he was fighting cancer and having chemotherapy at the time. And he was talking about how his blood is really doing so well, but his heart is deteriorating and he's had some damage now. So it's pretty crazy what's happening. And right now I'm going to show you this video out by a pilot that had a heart attack, and judge for yourself. Check it out.
Bob Snow. I'm a captain for a number of years. The total service with the company is over 31 years. On November 7th, I was mandated to receive a vaccine. Quite literally, I was told if I did not receive the vaccination, I would be fired. This was from our director of flight. So, under duress, I received the vaccine. Now, just a few days ago, after landing in Dallas, 6 minutes after passed out. I coded. I required 3 shocks. I needed to be intubated. I'm now in ICU in Dallas. This is what the vaccine has done for me. I will probably never fly again, based upon the criteria that the FAA establishes for pilots. I was hoping to teach my daughter to fly. She wants to be a pilot. That will probably never happen. All courtesy of the vaccine. This is unacceptable, and I am one of the victims. You can see that this is actual result of the vaccine for some of us. Mandatory, no questions asked, get a shot or you're fired. This is not the American way.
And there you have it. You saw the pilot talk about how 6 minutes after landing, he started to have his heart problems or heart attack. So I ask you, what kind of danger is it if 6 minutes prior they didn't land? Right now, we potentially be talking about an air disaster. So now we have this problem with pilots all over the United States and people getting on planes because they have to continue to make their money, but yet they've endangered everyone that flies. Anyway, it's questions that need to be asked. We need to have people in government who will address this, and I'm hoping the new Republican Congress will get to the bottom of this. I know they have a lot on their plate, but this is important. We need to find out what's going on at the FAA and pilots with heart problems. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.